What happens when a legendary rapper decides to reveal his longtime rival's family secrets in a court document? Yes, you heard correctly, Cameron just threw the ultimate shade. And we're talking about exposing Jim Jones's family in a courtroom. Bombshell that is rocking the hip-hop industry. Whether this is the biggest betrayal the game has seen in years, or just another day in the brutal world of rap drama. The court filing is so explosive that it has everyone from Harlem to Hollywood talking. What dirty laundry did Cameron unearth, and how far will this feud go? Spoiler alert, it's more exciting than a reality TV reunion with twists and turns that will leave you shaking. Stay tuned because we're going to reveal every scandalous detail, including the receipts and the fallout that could destroy careers. I promise you won't want to miss this. So grab some popcorn and get ready for the truth to get loud, messy, and downright savage. Edge of your seat. Let's examine exactly what Cameron is revealing in this explosive court filing. This isn't just a trivial family feud or an old-school rap feud that has been recycled for clicks. Rather, it's a full-scale legal expose with accusations so outrageous that they practically beg for a Netflix series. Jim Jones, Harlem's own rapper turned mogul, and his entire family are at the center of the storm. Circle Cameron's filing depicts a close-knit family business that isn't just about music and success, but was allegedly founded on fraud, corruption, and outright deceit. Recall the days of the iconic Dipset crew, which restored Harlem's reputation as a hip-hop hotspot. Jim Jones, known for his gritty verses and streetwise hustle, created an image of loyalty and success. However, behind the scenes, Cameron's filing asserts that the picture is a meticulously crafted facade concealing a more sinister reality. What's the skinny? According to Cameron, Jim Jones's family has been running a number of phony businesses that only exist on paper but transfer millions of dollars through intricate money laundering schemes. One of the so-called businesses appears to be a legitimate real estate investment firm with high-rise buildings, prime Harlem addresses, and a steady flow of investors. But upon closer inspection, which Cameron claims he conducted with the assistance of insiders' ghost transactions, inflated property values, and dubious wire transfers indicate the source of the funds. The filing also accuses multiple family members of conspiring in these schemes, some of whom are named directly. While Jim Jones alleges insiders allegedly gave Cameron leaked bank statements that showed mysterious deposits in the millions, frequently followed by swift withdrawals to offshore accounts in the Caribbean and Europe, mentioned anonymously. But the message is clear. This isn't a one-man show. The entire family is allegedly involved in keeping up this intricate house of cards. Cameron also claims that emotional manipulation is involved. The documents show that some family members were coerced into silence by threats of public humiliation or disinheritance. Consider this: when family loyalty is used as a cover for criminal activity, you're dealing with a toxic environment that extends far beyond rap drama. Cameron's filing details private meetings where family members argue angrily about how to handle the fallout, with some demanding complete cooperation. Others were allegedly set up as scapegoats when things started to fall apart with authorities, while others insist on maintaining silence at all costs. The story becomes even more tangled when you include tales of extravagant parties, expensive cars, private jets, and lavish spending that may have been funded by the same funds used for these illegal activities. One anonymous source even described a party where champagne was flowing because it was all based on lies. Fans recall Jim Jones's public persona as the self-assured, larger-than-life figure who threw $100 bills in music videos and lived the high life. However, Cameron's filing raises an important question. How sustainable is that lifestyle if it's supported by illegal activity? And more significantly, how long can the family maintain this facade in the face of growing legal scrutiny? Legal experts who have examined portions of the filing that have been taken off the record naturally state that the accusations could lead to numerous investigations into anything from tax fraud to racketeering. They point out that though Cameron didn't suddenly reveal this information, industry insiders have long suspected that behind the ostentatious image is a web of lies. And if authorities uncover even a small portion of what Cameron claims, the entire family could face serious charges that could destroy their empire completely. Of covert transactions that aren't always kosher, but until now, no one had the courage or the documentation to make them public. And guess what? This court filing was released just weeks before Jim Jones's eagerly awaited album release, sending shockwaves through the music industry. Was it a calculated attempt by Cameron to deflect attention, or a sincere plea for justice and the truth? The argument continues. However, the truth is that court records don't lie. And these documents are already being analyzed by media outlets, legal analysts, and fans alike. Jim Jones and his team have reinforced their denial in response, calling the filing a baseless witch hunt and accusing Cameron of attempting to rekindle an old feud in order to remain relevant. Social media is a battlefield. In addition to serious threads analyzing the possible fallout, hashtags like #EntraCameron, Court Battle, and Jim Jones Exposed are trending as fans take sides. Some loyalists don't think their hero could be involved in any criminal activity, while others say it's time that truth came out. And it's not just fans even. Other artists are taking sides, are quietly commenting behind the scenes, with some sources saying they're shocked but not surprised by the accusations. The once close-knit Harlem rap community is now split, with alliances changing as this court drama plays out. All eyes are on the courthouse. And what happens next could redefine not only Jim Jones's legacy, but the entire Dipset brand that's been though. Next section will delve into the juicy details from leaked reports, anonymous insider revelations, and the public's explosive reaction to this scandal. Will uncover the wild stories that didn't make headlines. This family has been influential for nearly 2 decades. Will they weather the storm, or will Cameron's accusations cause the empire to collapse? We're going to pick up where we left off with this legal battle, which isn't your typical courtroom drama. Cameron's filing reads like a thriller full of bombshells, secret tapes, and financial trails that look like they came straight out of a Hollywood crime movie. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. First, let's talk about the money, because as we know from confidential documents leaked exclusively to sources close to Cameron, that's where the real skeletons are hiding. The Jim Jones family is allegedly running a complex web of an insider who requested anonymity but claimed to have been a member of the family's financial management team, told investigators that on some nights they saw wires coming in from Shell, corporations masquerading as legitimate businesses. These entities, according to the filing claims, funnel money through a confusing web of accounts intended to conceal the true origins of cash flows. This source continued by describing extravagant spending sprees that didn't match the income Jim Jones publicly declared. We're talking about private yachts, exotic vacations, and luxury cars bought without any clear business justification, and businesses that didn't make sense, all of which are just empty LLCs set up for money laundering. Meanwhile, family members' leaked bank records present an even more damning picture. One file purports to show a $3 million transfer from a Caribbean account into a New York-based real estate holding company, a transaction for which there is no valid explanation. Another document reveals that those involved in this scheme received substantial payouts, further solidifying a culture of secrecy and greed. The filing also claims that several family members used false identities to open multiple credit lines and shell accounts, further muddying the waters. Several cash withdrawals totaling more than $500,000 in a single month were all reported as suspicious activity. But oddly, they were not looked into at the time. The real kicker is that the court filing cites a number of audio recordings that were allegedly obtained by anonymous whistleblowers and purport to show private conversations between Jim Jones and his closest family members. In these recordings, voices can be heard discussing hush payments, off-the-books deals, and plans to keep everyone silent while the money continued to flow. One clip, which was allegedly leaked to the media but was never confirmed, shows a family. Members saying if anyone tries to speak up, they lose everything. This isn't just business, it's survival. The spooky tone depicts a family that is controlled by intimidation and fear. Of course, the Jim Jones family. Insiders close to the rap industry have been giving clues about these claims, which the camp has rejected as fabrications and distortions. One veteran producer told a source, "I've heard rumors for years about some questionable dealings behind the scenes, but no one had the proof until now." However, a former Dipset affiliate reportedly told us, "Requesting anonymity, I'm not surprised that family money gets messy everywhere. But this sounds like a whole other level. It's sad, really, and it's not just the hip-hop community reacting. Local activists and leaders in Harlem have begun to voice their concerns about how these accusations might impact the neighborhood's reputation. Behind the scenes, the filing has shocked the family's business associates. And several companies connected to the Jones family have reportedly started to distance themselves from the community. One community organizer stated, "Harlem's history is rich, and we don't need a scandal like this overshadowing everything the community has worked for." Removing sponsorships and partnerships in a covert manner to avoid being drawn into the controversy, according to sources. Business partners have been having private discussions about damage control and how to handle a PR nightmare that could get out of control. They are attempting to determine which contracts to cancel and who is responsible if the federal government gets involved. Speaking of the feds, an insider disclosed that rumors of a federal investigation have been intensifying. Despite the lack of official statements, a government source with knowledge of the matter confirmed that the IRS and FBI are among the agencies that have shown interest in the case. And the source implied that financial irregularities discovered in while pointing out that investigations are still in their early stages. The filing matched patterns we look for in cases involving money laundering and tax evasion. Meanwhile, fans of both Cameron and Jim Jones have turned this into a full-fledged cultural debate, with comment sections and forums ablaze with heated arguments, with some accusing Cameron of betrayal and others calling Jim Jones win hip-hop. Legends begin exposing family drama like a reality show. You know, it's bigger than music amid all the chaos. One viral tweet perfectly captured this. Even rappers who aren't directly involved have weighed in on social media, with some openly supporting Cameron's quest for truth and accountability and others subtly criticizing it. More than just rap. This scandal serves as a warning about how money, power, and familial ties can converge to become dangerous. As the story progresses, it's anyone's guess how far down the rabbit hole will go. Will new players emerge? Will more leaks surface? Or will the family be able to put out the fire before it consumes them all? We're only getting started with the final. You won't want to miss what comes next, as Cameron's explosive court filing is changing the entire landscape of Harlem's hip-hop scene and beyond. This section will break down the fallout, legal battles, potential resignations, government investigations, and public backlash that could make or break the Jones family legacy. As the drama plays out on all music fronts, the once close-knit Dipset family is now shattered. The business empire is shaken, and the public is eagerly watching. First, let's talk legal. The filing sparked a barrage of responses, with Jim Jones's Psy legal team launching back with heated motions to dismiss, calling the claims baseless, defamatory, and purely strategic. But the pressure is growing as the courtroom prepares for a full-fledged discovery process that could bring several family members and associates into the public eye. Several judges have already approved subpoenas for financial records. Legal experts following this case say it's becoming one of the biggest celebrity-related financial scandals in recent history. The prosecutors obtained Cameron's evidence, which includes bank statements and audio recordings that were leaked. The consequences could be disastrous and include anything from large fines to criminal charges. Meanwhile, sources claim that internal disputes within the Jones family are escalating. Several insiders disclosed that some important family members are discreetly separating from Jim Jones out of concern that their own involvement may be revealed. One source informed us that there is a great deal of tension, with people picking sides and some getting ready to work with investigators to protect themselves, has sparked rumors about possible defections and closed agreements with prosecutors, a move that could change the course of the entire investigation. Picture devoted family members becoming witnesses in a courtroom drama worthy of a Netflix series. The public backlash has been equally dramatic, and the hip-hop community is split. According to some fans, the controversy has rekindled discussions about loyalty, power, and the repercussions of combining family and business. And Jim Jones's brand. Partnerships are suffering greatly as a result of the turmoil. While some people praise Cameron for exposing corruption and standing up for the truth, others condemn him for tarnishing the legacy of Dipset and Harlem's rich rap history, removing their endorsements and advertisements due to brand safety concerns. According to sources in advertising agencies, no matter how well-known an artist is, brands don't want to be linked to legal scandals in the current social media environment. This financial strain puts additional pressure on Jim Jones and his team, potentially affecting their upcoming album tours and business endeavors. One insider said, "When the money dries up, the real problems begin on a more personal level." Friends close to Jim Jones disclosed that he is under a great deal of stress. One confidant said, "This is not just about business. It's a personal nightmare. Family drama spilling into the public eye is painful and it's weighing heavily on him." Although nothing official has been confirmed, rumors of a documentary addressing the scandal have surfaced. And Cameron has positioned himself as the whistleblower who dared to pull back the curtain. Despite the turmoil, Jim Jones has been spotted attending meetings with top PR, consultants, and legal advisors in an attempt to plan a comeback and rebuild his image. Cameron's camp has been quiet in public, but busy behind the scenes meeting with investigators and getting ready for what could be a drawn-out legal battle. Some believe that Cameron's timing wasn't coincidental and that he may be using this filing not only for justice but also for a power struggle within the family. Community leaders and Harlem residents are preparing for the long-term effects of his move, which has sent a clear message that no family secrets are safe and no empire is untouchable outside of the courtroom. One community organizer told us, "This situation has put Harlem under a microscope. And we hope it leads to accountability, but also healing because, in addition, local nonprofits and youth programs are reportedly concerned about funding as sponsors reevaluate their involvement due to the controversy surrounding one of Harlem's most prominent figures." The media circus surrounding the case has even sparked debates about privacy. The community cannot afford to be divided by this. As this story unfolds, the music industry is closely observing. Will other artists come forward with their own stories? Could this case inspire more? Loyalty and the delicate balance between public interest and sensationalism. Critics contend that artists' personal lives should be kept private, while others think transparency is required when public figures hold significant influence. The Jones family drama has changed the game. What began as a rap rivalry has evolved into a legal and cultural phenomenon that is making everyone reevaluate what loyalty and legacy truly mean in the hip-hop industry. Will it become another forgotten chapter after the headlines fade? Will happen next? The court hearings are set to begin in the coming months, and according to sources, they could go on for years. In the meantime, expect more drama, leaks, and possibly even more players joining the conflict. If you thought this was just another feud, think again. This is the tale of survival, betrayal, and power as seen through the eyes of one of Harlem's most famous families. Wait for the final decision when justice, truth, and legacy meet. All right, family, after hearing all the crazy details, clandestine transactions, family betrayals, and court cases that have rocked Harlem's rap scene, what do you think? Is Cameron the ultimate truth teller, exposing a corrupt empire? Or is he just stirring things up to overthrow Jim Jones? If you're ready for more exclusive, jaw-dropping exposés, leave your thoughts in the comments section. Does this scandal change the entire game for Dipset? Or is it just another chapter in their lengthy, messy feud? Who is really at fault here? How far do you think this legal battle will go? Is there any chance the Jones family will recover from this? Or is this the beginning of the end? Don't forget to hit the like button, smash subscribe, and ring the bell to ensure you don't miss any updates. I promise you that these stories are so captivating that you'll want to be the first to know when the next shocking revelation occurs. Until then, keep your ears and eyes open, and keep in mind that in the world of hip-hop, the truth is stranger than fiction, always. Always.